Gentleman's Munder.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Winners Lounge.
That's right, dude. Welcome to Agenda Corner.
Agenda Corner. The Winners Lounge. We are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Sign up with code DNVR365. Bet along with us every game. And we're coming to you live from the Toyota Winners Lounge. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Nuggets get the dub tonight. 113-100. Over the Orlando Magic. A game that wasn't as close as the 13-point final score indicates it might have been, but got a lot to talk about. Monster games from, not a monster game, but a spectacular game from Nikola Jokic. Jamal Murray got hot in the second half. Christian Braun played well. All the Nuggets are good. A lot of people are saying that. I'm Harrison Wynn. That's D-Line.
That's right, guys. We are living in the brightest back era. We are back. Things are bright. Everything's beautiful. Except for we got a Munder stolen from us, and I took another horrific beat.
Wait, you did?
Yes!
What was it?
Jamal Murray didn't hit his second three. He only hit one. He took 6.
He was out there, too, at the end.
How do you not get another in that flurry in the
Dude, I
third
don't
quarter?
know. Anyway, great to be here, fellas.
Brennan Vogt here as well.
Obviously, this is a Denver first bar. I don't know if you guys have noticed some other sporting events going on this weekend.
Boo.
And we walked into a lot of football fans watching football. Power to them. Shout out to the Nuggets crew that came to the bar today and we had our own little section at the bottom.
Hell
Turned
yeah,
all
dude.
the TVs to Nugget.
Yeah.
So they put the game audio on just
Yeah,
for us.
dude.
And shout out to the ones that enjoyed a nice blowout in January when there was something else on.
Nuggets
Shout out
sweep
Nuggets fans.
the Florida road trip. Always a tough thing to do.
Dude, this has been, East Coast swings have been difficult for the Nuggets in their history.
Yeah.
But that's their history. This is the golden era.
Let's get into a quick, fast recap, and I'll tell you what happened in this game. My first note, Magic very hot from three.
Yeah.
Orlando, who I believe came into this game as the worst three-point shooting team in the league,
Yep.
they were hot from three to start. You knew that would fade eventually, and it did. Nikola Jokic, 12 points in the first quarter. He got off to a great start in this one. KCP playing well, had a nice first half.
Sure.
Hit some shots. Magic led 29-28. This game to me, and I even tweeted this out, this game had all the feeling of the Nuggets are going to F around here and then maybe eke out a win. That's what it felt like for the first half. And then, you'll see they kind of stepped on the gas in the third quarter and made this a blowout. Second quarter, not a great opening stint from the bench. AG Jamal out there with that bench, even though Jamal, he's developing a new patented Jamal move. It's the put him in the mix lefty scoop shot. You know that little lefty scoop that he's been doing?
Yeah.
That's like a Jamal Murray staple right now.
So true.
Nikola Jokic came back in, and the Nuggets got going. It was tied at 49. Peyton Watson, a couple massive blocks in this game.
Dude.
One where it was a two-handed block at the rim.
Violent.
Where he actually came down, and I don't know if he hit his head on the ground.
He did.
Or if he got elbowed in the head by was it Cole Anthony trying to dunk it?
Yeah, I think he got elbowed, yeah.
He left the game with a head contusion, came back, was all good. Nuggets got the lead at 51-50 for the first time. Another storyline in the first half of this game, the refs were asleep. Just some atrocious calls. Nikola Jokic got whistled for a flagrant foul on that one play. I don't
want
know how.
to lose my mind. I can't even.
That one dude was asleep in this game.
I can't even. But we'll get into it.
Michael Malone had to use both his challenges in that first half because the officiating was so bad. Won both of them. Nuggets led 54-52 at the break. Third quarter, Denver started to pull away. Jokic was giving it to Jonathan Isaac. They put Isaac on Jokic. Not a good decision from the Magic. He ate him up. And then a Murray flurry to finish the quarter. a big Murray flurry. Like, Jamal was hot. Nuggets up 93-77. And fourth quarter, Nuggets just kept on the gas. It was a 20-point game until late when they kind of just stopped playing. And the Magic kept their starters in. The Nuggets didn't have their starters in. And in the end, Orlando made a little comeback, but it was a 13-point win. And guys, the Nuggets are hot. They've been winning. It seems like they're coming together. Everybody's healthy. Schedule's lightening up a bit. I feel great about where this team's at right now.
Totally, man. They're not just winning games right now. They're blowing teams out. And this is our second game in a row, fellas, where Jokic does not have to play in the fourth quarter.
He almost had to.
Thing.
That is
I thought they were going to bring him back for a second.
But that's been a part of it, right? They're not just hot. They're winning some of these games in some dominating fashion. It's been nice to see.
The Nuggets have won 6 of their last 7.
It's good.
And 9 of their last 12.
That's good. We're good.
That's pretty good.
We're back.
Let's get to our Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways. I guess Vogt is first.
I know, dude.
Because we always start on that
bizarre
side of the
world.
set.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know what? I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, you go first. All right,
I'm just kidding. Go.
Oh, you're gonna let Vogt
Yeah,
go? Okay.
I'll go with Christian Braun, who took the Orlando Magic to Browntown tonight. A double-double for CB. 20 points, 11 rebounds, game high plus 22. And it's not... just for the sake of avoiding tough narratives and annoying conversations. Timely performance here in the KCP matchup. Obviously, the Magic downtrodden, beleaguered, tattered roster over there.
Tattered.
But this was not a night where any of us would have liked to see KCP outplay Christian Braun.
No.
Sure would have made for some friction in the chat, and Christian just took that conversation off the table by playing one of his best games of the year. And, there was a month and a half there where Christian struggled. I do think his back hurt him a little bit. This is true with a lot of players in the NBA, and the truth is most of them don't want to tell you. They don't want to make excuses. And he wouldn't, so maybe I shouldn't for him. Let's just say he struggled then, and the point is, last 3 games, we've seen much more confident, impactful basketball from Christian Braun, who also got to the line 7 times tonight. So just decisive, confident, productive. Last 3 games has been more of what we saw to start the year from Mr. Braun.
I think it's a good takeaway. I mean, we talked in the pregame. What do we think of the KCP decision, the Nuggets decision to kind of let him go in retrospect right now? Too early to judge, but, I mean, Christian was fantastic tonight. He definitely played up into the matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's keep talking for a little bit there.
Christian finished with 20, 11, 2 assists, plus 22.
5 offensive rebounds tonight, which is
5 offensive rebounds,
he scores a lot in transition, and there's a balance for Christian to strike of when do I crash the glass and when do I get out for those easy points. And you do like to see 5 offensive rebounds because that's that Josh Hart spirit animal, Christian Braun, that you're rooting for.
Absolutely.
Nuggets out-rebounded the Magic 57-39.
That's nice. That's a nice number.
Orlando did get on the offensive glass, but I mean, the Nuggets did end up out-rebounding them, and CB 11 rebounds, 5 offensive. He was confident tonight, with his shot, attacking the rim, attacking the glass. He played great.
Yeah, is it my time?
Go for it.
Are you done?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
And it's my time.
I haven't gone yet, but yeah.
He's not gone.
Now you go.
My Red Hawk Roofing official takeaway from me, D-Line. The Nuggets look like the Nuggets, man. They just there was never a time during this game, even when the Magic got out to an early lead and were way over their skis with their shooting percentage from 3. The Nuggets, they just are methodical. They're going to come back. The players are there. You can count on them getting hot. You can count on certain things happening. This just looks like a relaxed and a very confident, good basketball team in cruise control. The best kind of cruise control going 90 miles an hour. They just are doing what they're supposed to do. When you go up against a team like this, you're supposed to smack them. And that's just what they did. They are just taking care of business. Nikola Jokic gets another triple-double in the 3rd.
Yeah.
And the fact that they got to rest him at the end of this game is the most beautiful stat of all. Jamal Murray looks great. Michael Porter Jr. looks great. Christian Braun looks great. Everybody is just kind of doing their thing. Russell Westbrook had kind of a tragic game in certain ways, but he also looked
had some great moments.
He had some moments too.
Everybody's just kind of doing their thing and playing their role in the right way. Guys, And it's not about one player or another. It's about a whole cohesive team just kind of figuring it out. And it's a beautiful thing to behold. These are the salad days, boys. Eat up.
Did you see that Jokic stat that Altitude put out tonight? More triple doubles. This was during the game. They put it up. Jokic has more triple doubles before the fourth quarter. 12. That's this season, right? I think, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think so.
That's more than any other team has total triple doubles.
It's unreal.
He has more before the third quarter.
Before the fourth starts, it's unreal.
Before the fourth starts.
Unbelievable.
I think those are great points.
Wait,
The Nuggets
Jokic
do
had
look like the
another
Nuggets right now.
I didn't even realize Jokic had a triple-double, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't
In
even
the third
realize.
quarter. Yeah.
Easy. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. This is another win where, it's not just Jokic. MPJ has played a lot of minutes this year, a lot of minutes. Only had to play 27 tonight. Some of it is that at times he wasn't quite in it, but... And Russell Westbrook, someone was in the chat, was like, he sat him the whole fourth. I mean, he's gone to Russ a ton this year. He gave him some rest,
I know,
actually.
like,
And Russ will tell you he doesn't need it, but when you can build it in, it's nice.
It does, yeah. Like there's nothing to read into any of that. It's just like,
That's
hey,
a
we
good
have a
result.
big lead.
That's a good
yeah,
thing.
like,
That's a
hey,
good. But
that's
look, man,
take a seat.
part of it is that the kids have hit a stride, and it's not that it was a particularly amazing game from them, but I know Aaron Gordon's a big dynamic in the bench looking better. It is also true that these guys are just more playable than they were to start the year. And tonight's not even the best example, but there's just 1 through 8 right now I think you feel good about in a regular season environment. And that's where Denver wanted to get to. And I certainly think, they're a better team from top to bottom than they were when the year started. And this was a year that's about progress. They still have to get to the end goal, of
course.
But this first check here in January, would you say these guys have gotten better than when the year started? Absolutely.
Absolutely, dude.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is that the non-Jokic minutes are no longer a disaster.
No.
And it's probably the key to the rest of the Nuggets season. I don't think they were a positive in the non-Jokic minutes tonight. DeAndre Jordan was a -5 in 16 minutes. But I think a lot of that was just because he played more than he usually does, especially in that fourth quarter when Orlando was making that little comeback, that fake comeback. But the non-Jokic minutes, you don't hold your breath anymore, or you don't panic like you used to at the beginning of the season.
You don't notice them. You're not like, oh, God.
Yeah, and here's why it's the key for the rest of the season. Nikola Jokic in these last 3 games. You want to hear his minute totals?
Please.
29 minutes against Dallas, 31 minutes against the Heat, 30 minutes tonight. Those were 3 blowout wins by the Nuggets. Those are their last 3 wins. And he's able to do that because the bench is okay now. The non-Jokic minutes are okay. And the biggest reason why is because Aaron Gordon is playing with the second unit. I'm sure Aaron Gordon's going to be good to come back into the starting lineup and play 30-plus minutes, pretty soon here. I think the Nuggets should keep bringing him off the bench for as long as this current configuration is working. Figure it out in March or April, right before you're going to get set to go to the playoffs. But for right now, keep him coming off the bench, keep him playing with the second unit, and keep the non-Jokic minutes decent. Because if Jokic is playing around 30 minutes a night and the Nuggets are blowing teams out, and this is happening in a large part because they're a plus when he's been off the floor, it's going to win games because the starting lineup is that good, and it's also going to conserve him for the stretch run in the second half of the season. And that is the most important thing that the Nuggets have to keep in mind over these next 40 games. How can we keep winning, but also conserve Jokic, Murray, and the starters? A way to do that is by keeping Aaron Gordon in this role. Not saying he should come off the bench for the playoffs, but right now, for this next stretch, for this next month, keep him coming off the bench because the non-Jokic minutes are that important.
Yeah, it's interesting. I really wonder. I mean, I know he's cool with it, but I wonder if he's going to be cool with it for this amount of time. AG coming off the bench. It's a good point. It is a good point. It's netted the ability to have Jokic sit on the bench, not put nearly the miles on his body, or kilometers, as he would say, on his body that the last year certainly did. And there's something very valuable to that. I'm curious to see. I mean, I just kind of want to. I want to see them mess around with it a little bit. Like, I want them to start to mess around with this starting 5 conundrum that we all see happening, and like try putting AG in. I just kind of want to look at it to see, like, maybe, there's enough staggering and everything that it's fixed no matter what, just because we have enough good players that we don't have to rely on players that aren't as good. But it's a valuable point. It's an interesting point.
Yeah.
It is an interesting point.
I kind of want to put off the starting lineup question for as long as possible, honestly. I just want to keep pushing it down the road.
Yeah.
You can get back to a place where AG is starting, and that's still something like your bench look. But I agree. Right now, it almost feels, if it's the minutes restriction and he's a little, tender with the calf, what's the rush? What is the rush?
Yeah.
This is working really well right now.
And it seems like he's okay with it. I mean, to your point, if he's like, no, I'm going to be pissed if I'm not a starter. Yeah, we can talk about it and switch some things up then. But like with how Michael Malone runs his rotations, he's not going to be able to play with the bench if he starts. They just can't make a rotation that way. So I love the current configuration, and I think, conserving these starters is the key to the second half of the season, or one of the keys, and this is the best way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
Great Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways.
I know, dude.
Those were good.
Those were great.
Those are great.
I think more than it just...
Can we hit a break real quick?
Yeah.
Let's hit a break. We'll hold that thought.
Oh.
Do not forget what you were about to say. Put a pin in it.
I'm going to write a note.
Put a pin in it. And we'll be right back.
Shout out Live Well, which has 25 Colorado locations. The 25th one might not be conveniently located for you.
No.
But 1 through 24, one of them is going to be conveniently located.
Yep.
There's a lot of them. And once you get in there, you're going to be treated to quality service from knowledgeable staff that knows how to make this a very comfortable and educational experience. What do you like when you consume recreational marijuana? Tell them, and they might be able to help you find the best deals, but more importantly, the right strains, the right products, to help you find the experience you're looking for.
Yeah, man. Listen, if you're like a person you don't know how to, you want to sleep better or something, like you're a person that's grown up your entire life, you're an older person that has lived in a world where marijuana was always illegal, and so from that standpoint, like you're intimidated by the idea, but like you want to sleep better or something, like just go in, like talk to these people. It's not weird anymore. Like go ask them, they'll help you through. You know who loves gummies now? My mother.
Oh, what a treat.
Loves
And
them.
when you're doing it at Live Well, if you use code DNVR25, you can get 25% off one regular priced item, which can be an ounce, by the way, if you want to buy it bulk. So go ahead and check out all 25 of those Live Well locations. Use code DNVR25 when you're there. And we talk a lot about Breckenridge here at DNVR. We're going to talk about the Breckenridge Distillery right now. We're going to talk about the Breckenridge Distillery. They've got some great bourbon, really good. There's a bar near my apartment. I don't have a house. Mostly because I go to this bar so much.
Yeah.
There's a bar near my apartment, and they've got a great whiskey selection, and they've got a huge menu. And I always say, I don't need the menu. I'm getting the Breckenridge bourbon.
Yeah.
I know that it's good. It's also the official bourbon of the Denver Broncos.
Wow, shout out.
Shout out the world's highest distillery. You can
Not
eat at their
Live Well High.
Nope. You can eat at their award-winning restaurant, enjoy show-stopping cocktails, learn more about their highly awarded spirits with an in-depth tasting, plus get an inside look at their active production facility. Use code DNVR at checkout for free shipping on all orders over $99. Learn more at BreckDistillery.com. BreckenridgeDistillery.com.
And we're back on the DNVR Nuggets Winners Lounge from the Toyota Winners Lounge, presented by Bet365. Use the code DNVR365. Sign up and bet with us.
Can I say something, Harrison?
Please. That's what we do on this show.
It's too early in the show to curse, right? We're still on TV.
Don't make Kale write a report.
Okay.
We don't want him to write any
Bleep
reports.
Corey Joseph, dude. What?
No, there's guys in here that just can't let go of the idea that Jamal Murray is bad. They've built a house on the idea that Jamal Murray sucks, and so even if he has a good game,
this?
you can't, just the chat.
Oh,
it's
the
like
chat. Sorry,
hang on. I'm
It's
mad at
so
Corey Joseph
sad.
right now. I'm mad at Corey Joseph, who, first of all, still playing basketball?
Yeah.
What? And ruining Munders? Someone should have Kyrie'd that ball into section 300.
sorry.
Dude, I kind of thought
I thought
DeAndre
you were
Jordan was
talking
going
about-
to. So, Corey Joseph.
Sorry, yes,
No,
sorry.
I was
different
talking about Corey Joseph
Sorry, there's another guy.
of the
in chat.
Orlando Magic.
I was like Corey.
Oh, there's a
Simmons.
Corey in the
Yeah,
chat.
Sorry,
Okay,
I apologize.
sorry.
You
I
got
thought you
confused.
pointed. My apologies. My agenda got in the way. Can you
Whoa,
believe that?
whoa.
When I was calling out other people's agendas, my own agenda got in the way.
Wait.
Is it agenda miss again?
Yeah, dude. Mary
Agenda miss? What? What? Fired up kill? Oh my god.
Mary
It's an agenda miss.
It's a Mary
I don't even
miss.
know if I've seen this one.
No, Corey Joseph can take a hike, brother.
Yeah, Corey Joseph shoots the meaningless
You're
three
right
to
about
ruin
that,
the
dude.
Munder. I thought DeAndre Jordan was going to go out there to say something. No, he just gave KCP a hug.
Who's not upset about
where
the
he was
Wonder
going.
at all.
Didn't even care.
I was furious at the bar.
Nuggets get the win 113-100 over the Orlando Magic. Denver playing really good basketball right now. What were you going to say before the break?
Maybe some agenda I have. I don't know.
I told you to put a pin in it.
Hold on. I think maybe Wemby sucks. I don't know.
That was probably it. Yeah, that was probably it.
No, I was just going to say, like, I just want to reiterate how beautiful it is. What a great time to be alive and a Nuggets fan. Like, just watching these replays, it's funny because a night like tonight, like, it actually is a little bit of a debate who gets the game ball.
Yeah.
Because there were so many guys that played good to great games, or at least fine to good games, adequate to good. You just have. This is one of these games you're like, wow, the Nuggets are super deep, and then like earlier in the season, you're like, we have no one.
This is
we have no
Calvin
one.
Booth's genius
Calvin
game.
Booth, yeah, this is this is the Calvin Booth.
Calvin
Genius
Booth is back.
Calvin Booth geniusometer is tonight pinging hard in the genius.
It does help to play a team missing 80% of its rotation.
Doesn't matter. Genius.
But
Genius.
but look, here's the thing: is it's not just this one game. This feels like a continuation of even tonight, where the bench actually lost their minutes outside of AG. Just so much better than when it was hold your breath and what did even the head coach was praying apparently on the sideline. So this is still it's a sustained stretch of better play in those minutes, and it feels great, man. It gives you an extra layer of confidence in this team because you know their best punch can still catch a lot of the good teams, but raising their floor slowly over the course of the season, I think.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of these guys individually. I want to start with Jamal, who played 38 minutes somehow. This is another thing with Malone's rotations. Like, if Jamal's playing with the bench, he's just automatically playing close to 40 minutes in any type of game. They got to get those minutes down a little bit, but he got off to a slow start in this one. I think he shot 3 of 10 maybe in the first half.
Yep.
But
8
then
points
had
in the
a
first.
flurry in the third quarter that even carried over to the fourth quarter a little bit. Only 1 of 6 from 3, but he finished with 19 points, 8 of 16 shooting. Not personally, this is me personally, not a Jamal Murray is back type of game. I've never said that, of course. But what he did in the second half,
Yeah, he was back in the second half.
It was timely. It was right when the Nuggets needed it. And, like they were scoring, they were spreading the ball around. So I don't think it was like really detrimental what happened in the first half. Denver just kind of got off to a bit of a sluggish start as a team, I thought, other than Jokic.
They did.
So not the greatest game from Jamal, but his second half was absolutely massive. I mean, that's when Denver took control of the game. It's
true.
You got to give him a ton of credit for that.
True. Yeah, Jamal Murray is, listen, he's back in that, like, you can reliably, it feels at least like something you can check that you'll get somewhere between 18 to 20 points every game. For the most part, obviously there are nadirs, as there are also heights to be hit. We can get 45 or sometimes we can get 13. But we're kind of in a place where you're like, pencil Jamal Murray in for around 20 points, which is great.
He'll get there some way.
He will get there somehow, some way. He might not be hot the entire game. Jump shooters aren't always hot the entire game. He started to, when he wanted to turn it on a little bit, he started to make a lot of the Magic players look bad as he drove to the rim and got some of those like really beautiful scoop layups that he does high off the glass. It's just, it's like the team is functioning. It's bad if one player is having to play hero ball, ISO ball. If one guy is really standing out one way or the other, it's like not how the Nuggets should be playing basketball unless that player is Nikola Jokic. So it's just furthering the idea that the Nuggets are, if we don't want to say they're back, they are complete. The Nuggets seem complete.
That's it. It's the last layer of it, right? Where tonight I felt like it was more supplemental from Jamal than taking over. But there are still these moments where there was some two-man game with Jokic where you're so worried about Jokic on the roll, and then Jamal just stops and fires from 15 feet. And right now, those shots are automatic. And when those shots are automatic,
That's it.
it's the last piece to what comes very close to being a truly unguardable offense. Because, okay, Russ, who can get the ball to Jokic, and then Jamal and Jokic, who can still play together. Now you're worried about Jokic, who's in Godzilla mode as a scorer, except now Jamal's hot. And oh, by the way, Mike's out there. Like in the third quarter.
A lot of mouths to feed.
And they always strive to find the balance, right? Because it's you can't have everyone being great at the same time. But to me, it's more where they're back to this place where the defense isn't
They're
sure.
back?
They're back to this place where the defense isn't sure. It's not just about taking one thing away or two things away. They have different looks now, and it could be Murray and Jokic in the two-man, Russ and
Yes.
Jokic in the two-man,
Yes.
Mike popping from three,
Yes.
Mike getting himself involved in the third after being kind of passive in the first is a good sign, because it's just what you want is layers, and you get to this part where you're just not sure how to guard them anymore. And I think teams are back to that place of, you can overload on Jokic. Denver's going to beat you right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I mean, look, that second half when Jamal Murray was in rhythm and just feeling it. I mean, the Nuggets put the gas pedal all the way down. Like, they were feeling it. They blew this team out, and that's what they look like when Jamal Murray is on.
Beautiful.
Nikola Jokic in this game, we talked about it a little in big takeaways, but 20 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists, 7 of 9 from the field. Didn't really see the Jokic stopper, Wendell Carter, much in this one.
Well, that's because he got hit in the eye by Wendell Carter.
I know. And then, got a flagrant for that one.
You did hit your over 10.5 on Wendell Carter, by the way.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you
what
did.
He? Oh, 16. I told you that was a lock.
16 even. Yeah,
16. Big game from the Jokic stopper.
Son of a biscuit.
I mean, Jokic, just 2 turnovers as well in his 30 minutes. Didn't seem like it was the toughest game for him.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like it was the most tiring game from him. He just kind of played under control, calm, cool, and collected. Was looking for his teammates. Shot the ball when he should shoot the ball, and he was a plus 20 in 30 minutes. I feel like Jokic is really enjoying only logging around 30 minutes in these blowout wins.
Gives him a lot of time to chew his nails. It's
Yeah.
not like 6 times going down to the bench. He's just going at it.
He's
to town.
really in late GM mode. Really channeling his inner LeBron, choosing the players on his own team and biting his fingernails.
Biting his fingernails.
He played defense today too, man.
Yeah.
3 steals and 3 blocks. And it does feel like when Jokic plays defense, this team can play defense.
Yeah.
You're not going to see it 82 times in a row. You're just not. But I thought tonight he played pretty hard on that end.
It feels like every Jokic steal, or a majority of them, lead to Nuggets fast breaks too.
Yeah, oh,
Because
yeah.
he's always stripping a guy in the lane and then
Oh, yeah.
getting it out quick.
Quick outlet pass,
Yeah.
easy bucket.
I know. As dominant as Victor Wembanyama is above the rim, Nikola Jokic is as dominant below the rim.
Yep.
He tries to meet you not at your apex, but in your gather.
Right.
And I thought Denver defended well tonight for the most part. I mean, they let them get comfortable from 3. That is a team that doesn't shoot well from 3. Denver made
Let them get comfortable.
Yeah, Denver made some decisions with the corner shooters, and it worked against them in the first half. And that's a bad offense, by the way, without their guys. I just thought Denver. We talked about the stretch of schedule they're in here in the pregame show, and the words we used, Eric, were like responsibility, maturity, right? So you just have to do that in this game and make sure you beat this team by 10 points, because you should. And that's take advantage of this stretch. Become a mature team as you're picking up these wins. And tonight, early start on a Sunday in Florida, I wasn't too surprised that the first half was ugly. But them, I think, kind of turning it on and playing defense in the second half, ultimately a very responsible performance from the Nuggets.
I mean, Nikola Jokic, more often than not, he's going to do what his team needs him to do on that given night.
Every night.
If nobody really has it going, he might score 40, because that's what the Nuggets need him to do. If, he's getting 20 from Christian Braun, 15 from Michael Porter, 19 from Jamal Murray, 12 from Russell Westbrook, he's probably just going to only score in the 20s and hand out 10 assists. So I thought it was a great balanced game from him today.
Yeah, he was great, man. He was great.
Always great.
Always is.
What do we think of Christian Braun and Mike and Russell Westbrook's games?
Dude, Christian Braun was great tonight. And he was great because he just was charging the rim. Christian Braun, I still cringe every time he loads up for a 3, even though we do need that part of his game to really be on point if he's going to be the fifth starter and play that KCP role. He needs to be a legitimate threat from behind the arc to give the spacing. But he's really, really, really deadly when he is slashing. He finishes almost everything. It is wild. And he goes with the same level of reckless abandon that Russell Westbrook does. But he's just always slashing, finding the empty area in the paint and taking advantage, finishing, fast breaks. And it's just, if you want to talk about a very clear division or a very clear cut between he and his predecessor at that position, KCP missed every layup, I swear to God, he took for the Denver Nuggets. Like
He did miss one again tonight.
He missed one tonight.
And I did think to myself,
he cannot, for whatever reason, KCP cannot finish. So this is like a new element that the Denver Nuggets are enjoying. Somebody that can reliably finish when they slash and somebody finds them. There's like all of our passers are looking for guys cutting. Jokic and Westbrook love that dynamic.
Yeah.
There was a turnover. That's what happened.
I thought they were applauding your take.
Yeah, they were like, man, this is incredible. Wow, this guy really loves Browntown.
Let's stay on that point, but we got to hit a break real quick. We'll talk about Christian Braun a little bit in 1 second and also, go over some other observations from this game. Also, we'll talk about an award, the Game Ball from tonight. We put a poll in the chat. We'll
put a pin
hit
in
that
it.
on the other side. Yeah.
It is true that armpits smell bad, but fellas, when you really think about it, it's pretty hilarious to just put one stripe under your arm and go, yeah,
Done.
now my whole body smells good.
Yeah.
Does
Does not.
Does not really work that way. Shout out Mando, who understands this.
Understando.
It's a men's deodorant brand that's hyper-focused on keeping every aspect of man's body smelling fresh and clean, and I mean every aspect. I'm not just talking pits, I'm talking belly buttons.
Right.
I'm talking butt cracks.
Whoa.
I'm talking grundles. I'm
What?
talking munders. Just kidding.
Not
Their scents
tonight.
are
Not
geared-
tonight.
Not your Munder tonight.
Their scents are geared towards men with options like Bourbon Leather, Clover Woods,
What?
Mount Fuji, and Pro Sport. So yeah, man, make sure you really cut. You got a date tonight. The deodorant's a nice start, the under the armpit deodorant, but you might want to take care of the rest of the body
dude,
too.
listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't want to, let's just say that you don't want to find out you have a grundle issue when it's too late.
Later on in the night. You know what I mean? Men's Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like the mini body wash deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Use the code DNVR at shopmando.com, shopmando.com. That's one of those where I think you spell it, it gets less intuitive. Shopmando.com. Please support the show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe. Now I get to talk to you guys about Breck again, but this time it's not about the distillery. It's about their beer, which is how you guys know Breckenridge Brewery, a really, really famous Colorado brand. I think the Avalanche Amber Ale, right? Is that what it's called?
Yep.
And I feel like I knew about that beer before I got to Colorado.
Yes,
you know what I
you
mean?
did.
That thing's
Absolutely.
just out there, and I don't know. Breck does a really great job with branding. And, they're still local. They're still local,
There are
baby.
guys.
Breckenridge Brewery,
And
the
girls.
official craft beer of DNVR, a brew for every occasion. Check out the beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a brew near you.
Also, I just love drinking Breck Brew at the bar. Sometimes it feels right for other types of beers, but like
A night like tonight?
Sunday afternoon,
Yeah, dude.
a little chilly out. Like I could go for a Breck Brew.
It's almost like the
days
responsible
like
thing
this.
to do in a lot of ways.
unless you're driving.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop. Get out of here.
And we're back here on the DNVR Nuggets Winners Lounge, live from the Toyota Lounge, and presented by Bet365. Use the code DNVR365 and
All
sign
these
up.
winners lounges, fellas. All these
I know,
winners
man.
lounges.
It's so nice. Just,
I'm starting to-
rolling into the bar. Probably be a Winners Lounge tonight.
Yeah.
Like, we've been in the Winners Lounge so long, I'm starting to think about, like, built-ins. Like, not even just, like, lamps anymore, sconces.
Ooh.
And not like cabinetry, like a built-in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we're
Yeah.
like, this is going to be our long-term residence.
We're not
I
going
know.
anywhere.
We're getting sconces.
Yeah.
The worst rally
Fire
cry
up the
ever.
sconces.
Fire up the sconces.
We were just talking about Christian Braun. He had a great game, and we did put a poll in the chat for who should win the game ball. 51% say
Whoa.
Christian Braun,
I think it's the right call today.
40% Jokic, 8% Jamal. So when Kale asked me for the game ball, He asked me who I thought should get the
Who would
game
you
ball.
have chosen?
I said Christian Braun. And then he said, let's do a poll. And I said, great idea, Kale.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And the chat agrees with me. What do you guys think?
I had Christian as well. I mean, Jokic every night, but tonight's a Christian night, I think.
I would have gone Jamal just to make 7 people in the head in the chat's head explode.
But yeah, Christian Braun, he is our game ball tonight. 20 points, 11 rebounds,
Dude, look
2
at this- look
assists,
at
setting
our-
up Browntown in South Florida.
Dude, our little
or
babies,
Central Florida.
our little babies all grows up. Didn't he have like a monster game in Orlando last year, and we looked on MapQuest to find out exactly where Browntown
Did
was
we?
in Florida?
Was that Orlando?
I think so.
He likes
I did.
Florida.
I remember making a graphic where I superimposed a Browntown
think I
as a
remember that
suburb
too.
just outside of
Yeah,
Orlando.
yeah.
Hey,
That's
fellas.
right. Orlando. Yeah, Browntown. It's like Orlando, the Disney zone, Browntown.
Right. Browntown officially in Orlando. I mean, he just maybe likes Florida. He
Guys,
has
I
the
think-
massive game in the finals in Miami. Maybe he's a Florida guy.
Is Browntown just permanently in Florida, or do we just have like an outpost there?
I'd say outpost.
He's a bit of a colonizer. You know what I mean? He's like
Yeah.
he's laying Browntowns all across the place. You were trying to talk. Go ahead.
Someone in the chat said Christian didn't have a good game. Christian was tied for the leading scorer in this game, and he had 11
It's
rebounds,
like, what are we talking about?
a career high for Christian Braun, which was 10. I just looked it up. 11 rebounds for Christian Braun is a career high. Did it on a night where he tied for the leading scorer in the entire game and was a game high plus 22. Christian definitely played well in this game, and good for him, man. Good for him. As I said at the start of the show, is my big takeaway. 3 games in a row now where Christian's looked the part after a kind of down month, and
Yeah.
I think that's pretty encouraging.
He looks closer right now to the player he was at the very beginning of the season. I'd say on both ends of the floor. I mean, I thought he was pretty good defensively in this game, and offensively he was great. Got to the line a bunch, 7 of 7 from the line for Christian Braun, and he was also that plus 22. That was a team high also. His cutting, though, man, I've always been so impressed with Christian Braun's cutting.
Totally.
And especially when he's playing so many minutes like he is this season next to Nikola Jokic, the timing on his cuts, I don't know if I've seen anybody do it better in the Jokic era than Christian Braun. Like when Jokic has it in the post on one of the blocks and Christian Braun is on the opposite wing, how he times that cut going right through the lane.
yes, it's beautiful.
I don't know if any other Jokic teammate has done it better than he does.
He gets it, man. He absolutely gets it.
And it's just about high IQ, reading the game, timing, and then he has the athleticism to finish.
I said it before the season started. Beat Gary Harris out there.
Yeah,
Beat old school
Gary was
Gary
great at it
Harris.
too.
And I think that's kind of what he's been. I mean, back in the day, Gary was actually a great corner shooter. Still is a good corner shooter, although it's fallen off in general. But the cutting, man, I think Gary's the last guy to do this. And it's, you don't have to just stand there and wait. You don't just have to stand there and wait for a shot or space the floor. And Christian's done a really good job of making himself a weapon. And there's 2 guys right now, really 3, that will hit you when you're cutting with Jokic, Russ, and Jamal. So it's welcome. He doesn't have to shoot 40% to be a weapon.
Nor should he try.
And I like the last 3 games from Christian a lot.
Yeah, it is so valuable. Like, the last thing on earth you want to be in sports is predictable. You don't want the other team to know what you're going to do. The Denver Nuggets have now so many options. When Nikola Jokic gets the ball in the middle and the other team decides whether or not, first off, they're going to double him. When they double him, you either have guys that are waiting with just wide open to shoot threes, or you can have somebody cut with such reckless abandon, or if they're spacing out, there's just, you have all of these different ways to play, and it's just that's how you keep a team on their toes, and that's how you that's how you get another title, frankly.
Michael Porter, kind of a quiet game from him, 15 points, was efficient, 5 of 9, and then 3 of 5 from 3. He's had an interesting last couple of months because the Nuggets' identity became Westbrook and Jokic.
Yep.
And now Jamal is entering back into the DNA of this team more and more. And Mike, it does feel like, is kind of just on the outside of that looking in.
Yep.
But, I mean, the great thing about Mike is he's the best outlet when the defense collapses if he's in the corner on the wing for a shot. He's cool playing that role because he's used to it by now.
Right.
And so, I mean, these are the nights where he doesn't stand out, but you also, watch him and you look at his game and you go, okay, that's why he's such a perfect fit, just with his shooting and floor spacing.
There were 2 possessions in the third quarter where it's just Jokic posted up, and Mike is 1 pass away on the wing. And the first time, Black just helps hard, and Jokic just 1 pass away to Mike, easy 3. I think this was to start the third or something like that. It's just such an easy bucket. They come down, they get the same setup, and Black starts to go help, and he's like, man, I can't do it. And Jokic just cooks Carter for the and one. And there are still moments where, Mike is one of those guys where he doesn't, just because he's not scoring 25 points per game doesn't mean his presence in the lineup was very helpful. And teams love to help off on and swarm Jokic, and they just can't do it when it's Mike 1 pass away. In an 82-game environment where defense aren't always perfectly strategized and dialed in to beat you, Mike 1 pass away from Jokic in the post is an automatic bucket.
It's a good point.
There are still moments, but he has to find that balance. It's going to be his job as long as he's here, and it's a Murray-centric offense. Can Mike stay aggressive, knowing he won't touch the ball for long stretches? I liked the way he did in the third quarter. Just go and get the ball, still get those shots up, have your 5 minutes, and then kind of fall back. It worked out nicely.
Yeah, this is why the question of whether or not Michael Porter Jr. is a max player is not an absolute question. It's like, is Michael Porter Jr. a max level player on this team? And he's an absolutely perfect fit for the puzzle that is the Denver Nuggets. Like, he is worth that for the Denver Nuggets. And he doesn't have to be the guy all the time. He just has to be the guy when it's time. And he is more often than not. And you love when Mike is shooting confidently. Yes, that stretch earlier when it was when Jamal wasn't gone and Mike was actually stepping up and getting big scoring totals. And so that exists. He could do that. He could absolutely do it.
But then finding the balance.
It's the balance.
Because the best, as much as I think there's more to Mike than people realize, when he played in the Russ-centric offense, I thought his ceiling looked a lot higher. But the best version of this team with Jamal on it is Jamal hitting the shots that he's taking. And Mike just has to find the balance of what is the middle ground. I'm not going to get to be as involved, but I need to stay involved.
Yes.
First half he wasn't. Third quarter he made himself involved.
Yep. Russ had some good moments in this game. The 5 turnovers were tough, but he was solid. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists in his 25 minutes. And Aaron Gordon coming off the bench again in this game, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 turnovers for him as well. He was a plus 10 though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge for the bench. And then my other note, just on guys coming off the bench, Peyton Watson in this game, 3 blocks. 2 of them, I don't remember the third one. 2 of them were absolutely monstrous.
Monsters.
And the one he had where he hit his head on the ground, where he blocked Cole Anthony at the rim with 2 hands while taking an elbow to the face. I can't believe how high he got up on that.
How about Cole Anthony trying that?
Yeah, like Cole Anthony, please.
Brother, do you not know about Peyton Watson? He didn't even get above Peyton's head, let alone to the rim, dude.
Yeah. It's like, try somebody else, man.
Yeah.
I'm guessing P-Watt only played 12 minutes because he got that head contusion, and he was good to come back, but I'm guessing they just held him out of precaution. His defense continues to be an absolute game changer. I mean, you can totally see the vision. I mean, Peyton Watson is an incredible defender right now, and he's going to be a big part of what this team does in the playoffs. But you can totally see the vision, next season, a year after, where he's the best rim protector that Nuggets have had in the Jokic era.
Definitely.
And how he develops into that role, playing more of that 3-4 next to Jokic when he's on the court. Maybe he's starting at one point. His ability to protect the rim, it's something that the Nuggets have never really had in another quote-unquote big man, even though he's not a big man, he's more of a wing. It's just a really valuable skill that I'm really excited to see how that changes the identity of this team defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really, since playing Houston, I'm just really enamored and stuck on this idea that Peyton Watson and Amen Thompson are essentially kindred spirits. They are Amon Thompson is bigger and I imagine he's older since P-Watt came into the league so young. But he's more filled out. But P-Watt has just he's turned it up a notch with his defensive intensity and he's now, like, what did you say? Like, what is the block streak? Do we know how many games in a row?
Well, he didn't have any last game.
Oh, he didn't.
Yeah.
But it's been a while now that he's been on a block spree, if not a streak. Yeah. And it's just like I love him turning his attention to that side of the ball because he can be still pretty reckless with the ball. Like he does need to work on the idea that there are times that he should not be charging the lane, that he should not be putting the ball on the floor, that when he's in transition, there are many times he should be passing the ball off. Like his eyes get really big in those situations and he makes a lot of turnovers, but him is just like a really stout, like ferocious defender.
Yeah.
That block that he did was on Cole Anthony.
One of the plays of the year so far.
Cole Anthony came in with such violence and malice in his heart and his eyes, and P-Watt met him with it and put it right back in his face, and they both ended up on their backs. It sucks that I was sure he got a concussion. I'm glad that he didn't, but I'm sure that's also, as you hypothesized, the reason he didn't really come back in the game much. But my God, it's just looking like he's just looking fiercer and more scary to go up against.
It's like the type of block shot where if you're Cole Anthony, you're scared to go to the rim for the next week.
Yes.
Or so.
Cole probably won't be, but a normal person would be for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cole should have been
A
scared
sane
the first
person
time.
wouldn't test anybody for a bit.
Peyton blocked that with his elbows. He was like, brother, it's not even close. Peyton Watson's their best defender, yeah? I mean, I just feel like he's easily their best defender. Shout out Russell Westbrook, by the way, who might be number 2 on that list right now.
AG's,
Yeah, I just think this year, AG's been in and out. He's been hurt. We haven't seen it from AG this year. Christian had a good game tonight. Russ got the defensive player of the game chain tonight.
I saw that.
Oh, he did.
I just think Russ, as far as the point of attack guys that at least try to disrupt dribbles and keep guys from getting comfortable, he does it. But Peyton is your versatility, Swiss knife defender. You could deploy him in myriad different ways, and as a team that doesn't have a ton of defensive versatility and just one guy becomes very important for the lineups they hope to build this year and down the line in the future, because he is a guy that can make up for not just one guy, but multiple guys defensively.
Yeah.
Guys, I have an important stat for us.
What's up, Joe?
It is 1/19. That is today's date. So
January 19th.
it's important to look at all the players who have had gone 1 for 19 in a game, and it's our old friend Joe Fulks.
Oh, shout out Joe.
Dang.
Joe Fulks.
Joe Fulks. Is that a photo of
So
him
he
in a
went 1 of
Philadelphia
19
jersey?
in a game.
Dang, dude. You want to
That
talk
was
about
probably a
plumber.
missed shot right there.
That, my friends, is a plumber. Those are even
Look at the ball. Does the ball even have seams?
No. But like plumbers literally wear those knee pads.
He looks so old on the floor in that picture, man.
Wait, he played for Philly? That's Philly.
You know what the
think he
craziest
did play
part
for
is that
Philly.
I guarantee in that photo he is 15 years younger than I am right now.
I know.
Yeah, he was like 21 at that point.
Yeah.
Just blowing butts after every game.
Someone says that looks like Vogt. Dude, I don't look like every white person. Especially not the super tall ones. At some point, there's got to be a guy I don't look like. There has to be
Yeah,
one.
he doesn't look like Vogt or Wind.
Yeah.
You can't just say that for every white
I
person.
get it. A lot of white guys do look like us.
Oh my God.
Joe Fulks is tall, and the hairline was going. All right. I'm only a little bit offended. Where were we?
Vogt, you would never shoot 1 of 19 in a game.
Yes, I would.
No, he means you wouldn't get the one.
Oh, yeah.
A 6'1" power forward, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
6'1" power
Strong.
forward.
He played
He
bigger
played with
than
power,
he
dude. He
looked.
didn't give any folks.
Yeah, undersized 4. So the Nuggets, they're hot right now. They've won 10. Wait, is this 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 of their last 13 now.
Bro, we are in
with
the,
this
we are in
win
the
over
midst.
the Magic.
Everybody, lock in. Lock in. The Winners Lounge is going to be a permanent location. I'm telling you, I'm getting sconces in here immediately.
Nuggets are 26 and 16 overall. and their next opponent, the Philadelphia 76ers, come in here for a nationally televised game on
Why?
Tuesday.
Why?
Well, because the schedule is set at the beginning of the season, and
I'm not even.
Adam Silver thought Joel Embiid would still be playing.
All right, let's talk about
which
this.
was probably foolish on his part.
Let's talk about this. Are you guys mad about this? Do you care anymore? What are your thoughts on Joel Embiid not playing in Denver for over 6 years?
I mean, right now, I kind of think Embiid. The story right now with Embiid, I think, is even bigger. I mean, is it over for Joel? Man, it's kind of really.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll play again, but it is.
I mean, am I mad about it? No, I'm not mad about it.
People
Yeah.
are mad about it. Like, people are mad about it. And
Mad? Or like, I'm mad on the internet?
We're making fun of it.
Well, I mean,
Making
Those
fun
are
of.
two very different things.
I don't know. This one feels different. To me, I feel more like this one's even just is like, will this guy play at a super high level again?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not mad about it. I think it is fun to talk about, though.
it is fun to talk about, but it's like, I don't.
We have gone, like, we are way past it, you know?
Yeah.
Totally. It is beneath us. It is behind us, and yet we will still revel in it when it comes.
Yeah, like if somebody made the missing person posters,
Yeah, we would
like
get-
an updated version of that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I'm
Would-
just throwing that idea out there. If somebody wants to do it,
Would we
and
display
bring
it
somebody at the
private?
bar, that'd be very cool.
Do you want to know something that's crazy?
What's that?
We weren't doing this show in its current form, which we've all been doing together for 5 years now, since the last time Embiid played in Denver. It was
Yeah.
before this show
We've
existed.
never covered a game
Wow.
together of Joel Embiid playing in Denver.
Right.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool to see them, play more.
It would be cool.
against each other. Am I
Yeah,
mad about it? No.
Yes.
Would I support somebody making that poster? Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. And I would put it right. I wonder if we still have that one from a couple years ago.
We have everything.
It's
You know the
probably
best
here
part about
somewhere.
that poster was how the spelling was wrong.
Oh, it was terrible.
The grammar
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
wrong.
so
It's like one of the worst The idea was so good.
I know.
that the execution was bulletproof.
Well, that's the thing, is that it was the idea, and just
It just didn't matter, though. That was the best
yeah,
part.
and the crime that Embiid was guilty of was so egregious. It's like if you put up a wanted poster for the Unabomber and you spell it the Unai Bomber, and everyone would be like, well, we're still gonna find him,
Should we go through some super chats?
Let's do it.
Let's do that. How many?
13 so far.
Okay, all right.
Super dope hip hop.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
do some math,
Oh, boy.
everyone. 3
Oh,
and
boy.
24, 25 average, 20 and 6 and 1.5 steals per game plus a half block. It's Jokic, SGA, and Jamal Murray.
Wow.
Telling you. Telling you.
That's a good stat.
Is that true though? Mr. Exquisite
Must
Nugget. No vote, don't add us. We want the trifecta, some of us. All the Nuggets are good. I'm catching a plane soon. We'll do a show after. Y'all stay tuned. Can we be a top 3 seed? Yes.
We're going to be the 2
Absolutely.
seed. We're going to be the 2 seed. I don't know how to tell you this.
Druid Trading says, shout out to Mara as being concerned about Brown's ceiling. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something there.
Yeah.
Worst,
I think
worst
he's
nightmare.
mocking at him. I think he's mocking at him.
Oh, then I'm on board. Worst nightmare. KCP misses Denver, I bet, and that DJ dunk was tough.
Oh, yeah.
Which
That
one?
DJ tug was great. I
On
mean,
KCP.
He hit a couple of
the
DeAndre Jordan
putback.
doing a great job at backup center. He's won
Dude.
that position battle.
Crazy.
And
It's actually legit.
Oh, it is.
He is playing a legit season. Like
Dude, you don't have to be a world beater to be a decent backup center in the NBA. You really don't.
apparently not.
And DeAndre Jordan's done a great job. And he did have that great putback dunk right over KCP. That was a great moment tonight.
Yvonne MBG 62 remix of the Ice Cube song "Get Me on the Court and I'm Trouble in 3 quarters." Messed around, I got a triple double. Freaking brothers every way like NJ. Number 15. I can't believe today was a good day.
Hell yeah. You should have rapped that.
I very, very intentionally did not. Yvonne NBG 62. Keep AG on the bench. It gives us more balance between first and second unit. It's not a big dip when Jokic goes off the court. This is like when Manu decided to come off from the bench for the Spurs, or Iggy for Golden State. That's a fun call. If this does happen, you should take that line and run with it. Uncle Rico's Revenge. Next Winners Lounge featuring Dev needs Dev Backometer. By the way, it's Browntown.
Just real quick, I still think most likely Aaron Gordon returning to the starting lineup is what's best for the Nuggets, by the playoffs.
You're just enjoying.
I have thought about, honestly, if he shifted into the Andre Iguodala, Manu Ginobili role. I before this iteration of the rotation with him coming off the bench happened, I would have thought that was crazy. I could kind of see it if that was the way things went. Again, I think most likely him back in the starting lineup is best, but I could see him being in that role.
And then we get the death lineup where he rejoins the starters.
Yeah, at the end of games.
All right, fine.
Yvonne, vote, read it like always. My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway. 1, project bullshit. 0.
They'll write the report.
0. 2, silver linings. A lot. 3, teams and Strother's defense improving.
Okay.
Calvin Booth, I'm back, baby.
He's back. Fired up.
Genius.
Cedric Exquisite, Brody and Brate over Le Fluke and Anthony Davis. All the Nuggets are good. Peter Duck, I am a junkie for triple doubles.
Me too.
Yvonne MBG 62. Next game versus Duckling and Bitch and Podcast P. Bring back the posters missing since 2019. The 2023 MVC, as in the most valuable crybaby, I call a blowout.
PSA to Podcast P, if he needs a place to
record
set
up.
His Losers Lounge, he can do it here.
Yeah, come through.
Come for a post-game reaction pod.
You can use the mics.
We have a studio available.
Keith's
Studio
29.
B,
yeah, okay.
Studio B.
Yes, of course.
New Florida diehard here. Welcome.
What's
up, Keith?
All I wanted for my birthday this weekend was a Nugget win and a shout out from the fellas. Hashtag
Shout
all
out
the
Keith.
Nuggets are good. Shout out Keith.
Keith.
Happy birthday, Keiths. Post nut clarity.
Least sexually attractive name, but it's okay. Thank you,
MVP
Keith.
for.
The greatest part about post-nut clarity is when you pair it with his avatar.
I know.
It's him going like this.
Yeah. It's a lot.
In the car.
It's really incredible how if you just blind recorded the super chat part, like, and no one knew what was happening, you get my credential taken away so fast.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Just me reading all of the worst things you could possibly read into a microphone.
One of you with malice in your heart, get Vogt reading somebody else's words, clip it, and just be like, come get your man.
Yeah, why is this guy saying this about those guys? You know what I mean?
Come get your man's at Jamal Murray, something like that.
Are we done?
All right, hey.
Are we done, or do we have more time?
We got 4 minutes. We got 4 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. What else should we talk about?
Guys, so coming up, we just said this. Coming up is a very favorable stretch for the Denver Nuggets. As we're ending January. Like, when do you think the Nuggets get into second place at least in the Western Conference?
I mean,
Let's look at this.
the standings right now, they're
a game and a half back of 3, and they're 2.5 back of 2. Does that sound right?
I'd say by the All-Star break, they're the 2 seed.
How I think that I mean
In less than a month?
I am
I could
convinced.
see that.
Yeah, I am convinced to a degree that I can't even communicate how confident I am that they're going to be the 2 seed. What do they finish? I mean, they're now on a pace for 51 wins.
51 wins.
What do you think? Are you?
I still like my prediction. I think I was 54 maybe. And I mean, we hit this on the pregame show, but like some of these opponents they have coming up, Philly, twice, Charlotte, New Orleans, twice, back-to-back. Portland twice, back-to-back. Charlotte again. This is like an Eastern Conference schedule that the Nuggets have coming up here up until the trade deadline.
Yes.
So this is, what do they call it? Saturday's moving day in golf? Or is that Friday? I don't know.
Where you move up and down the standings.
Yeah, like this is the moving month.
Yeah, we're on
this next month for the Nuggets.
That's when the Nuggets like to cover some ground, man. That's when they do. But they gotta do it like they did tonight, right? Which is that was a team missing a lot of guys that was probably never going to beat Denver unless Denver let them. And you just take advantage of the stretch of schedule. Take advantage of it.
So here's another question. Phrased 2 ways.
Okay.
This is about basketball.
Will the Denver Nuggets make a move before or at the trade deadline? And should the Denver Nuggets make a move at or before the trade deadline?
I think yes and yes.
You think yes and yes. You do think that they'll make a move, and they should make a move.
Yeah. I think Julian Strawther's been very good lately. Shooting it with confidence. filling that role, spark plug off the bench, but I would still look to get either another backup big or a guy in the Strother role.
But do you think that they need a backup big now that DAJ has proven himself so valuable, or at least like
Competent.
Knowing that the backup big won't even play when the playoffs come?
Yeah, and I mean, I would try to get one just because I don't want to play DJ 15 minutes a game every game the rest of the season. And yeah, like you could maybe try Šarić again, not holding my breath on that. Zeke, I feel like they'll definitely look to move him at the deadline. But if you can get a backup big who you can trot out there and not have to give up much, I would look at it, yeah. Even though it's failed the last couple of years, I feel like it'd be worth it if you don't have to give up anything.
What say you?
I mean, if there's a trade to clear up a roster spot, like 2 guys on the back end that aren't playing, and then you bring Justin Holiday in, something like that, small move. But I mean, I've said it since the Atlanta game after the Washington game. I think this top 6 is very, very, very good, and I wouldn't mess with it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mess with it.
yeah. The bar agrees.
What do you think, fellas? Should we get out of here?
Fun show, guys. Thanks for hanging out and watching in the Toyota chat. Leave us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. What'd you think of the show?
If you yourself if you're a sconce installer, hit my DMs.
If you're also a Joel Embiid missing person poster maker, hit us up. Thanks to Kel for producing. Thanks to everybody watching. We'll be back next week. Talk to you guys then.
We all silly like the mayor.